Ganeshotsav for us each year is like a family get-together. We welcome Lord Ganesha in our homes with a bowl full of Naivedyam called Prasad ka Shira. Hey guys, this is the Bombay chef Varun Inamdar and welcome to Rajshri Food. And today, let's make Pujeta Shira or Prasad ka Shira. This Shira or Halwa that we specifically make for a Prasad is loaded with a lot of ghee and a lot of other things which we'll come to. But primarily, this Shira is made with semolina or Rava, and the essence to this is to nicely turn it golden brown in color on very low flame. This semolina or Rava, which is also known as cream of wheat, needs to nicely get roasted and fluffen up. This step could take anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes. You do not want this to burn or turn dark brown in color. The kitchen is filled with a nice nutty aroma, and that's exactly what you want. Well, the semolina has also turned a shade darker. We don't want to change the color and make it extra brown because the final product will also turn a shade darker. This is done. Off goes the flame, and I'm going to take another pan to make the Prasad ka Shira. Let's turn the flame on, and while the pan is heating, time to cut a ripe banana. This ripe banana possibly is one of the main ingredients of the Prasad ka Shira. I'm just going to dice this up roughly. Well, the pan seems to be hot. I'll add in ghee. While the ghee is just about to melt and kind of heating up, I'll add in whole cashew nuts and raisins. Do not add this when the ghee is at its peak because this may just end up turning brown. We need to give this a light stir and add in the chopped bananas. We need to give this a light stir, and while the bananas are kind of melting in the ghee, I'll add in another ingredient which is very important to the Shira, and that is holy basil or leaves of tulsi. Do not cut these or chop these. A quick stir, and I'll add in the roasted semolina. Give this a stir in this warm ghee. Keep the flame absolutely low. At this stage, I'll add in a mixture of milk along with water. Well, you can also make it with 100% milk, but trust me, this mix just works perfectly well. The milk and water both are at room temperature. And along with this, I'll be adding in some sugar. Give this a mix. Keep the flame on an absolute low. At this stage, we need to cover this and cook this on dum for 8 to 10 minutes. It's been 3 to 4 minutes. We'll just give this a quick check and add in saffron strands. I've dissolved this in a little bit of water. Well, you could also do that in milk. Give this a stir. Increase the flame to medium and continue cooking for the rest of the time. While that's happening, let's pound in some fresh green cardamom. Time to give this a check. This halwa or shira, if you notice, is softer than what you otherwise make in your homes, because this one is richer and is made specifically for auspicious occasions like a Satyanarayan Puja or any pujas in your homes. I've lightly pounded these seeds and not converted that into a powder because I like the bite when I eat the shira. A final mix, and with this your Prasad ka Shira is ready. But just before this goes as Naivedyam, I'll add in some rose petals along with some more holy basil or tulsi. त्याचबरोबर गणेश चतुर्थीच्या तुम्हा सर्वांना हार्दिक शुभेच्छा आणि गणपती बाप्पा मोरया.
I wait all year year round for Ganesh Chaturthi as it's my favorite festival. And I try and be a little creative as far as the modaks are concerned. So this year, I'm going to make a very quick and easy modak made out of semolina or suji and stuffed with dry figs. So for that, I'm going to start with soaking 1/4 teaspoon of saffron in 2 tablespoons of milk. Let this soak for 10 to 15 minutes. While this is soaking, I'm going to heat a tablespoon and a half of ghee in a pan. Into that, I'm going to start roasting 1 cup of semolina or rava. Keep the flame on low and keep roasting this for at least 6 to 7 minutes. About 5 minutes are up and you can see the color slightly changing. Into this, I'm going to add 20 almonds that I've roasted in a microwave for 1 minute and coarsely powdered it. About 15 pistachios coarsely ground. I've not roasted them. Roast all of this for 2 minutes. Into this, I'm going to add 2.5 cups of boiling hot milk. Make sure it's boiling hot. Be very careful while pouring the milk. At this point, I'm also going to add the saffron milk. I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of yellow food color. This is optional, so if you want to add it, you can. And also 1/4 cup of sugar. Make sure you break all the lumps of the semolina. Once the sugar starts to melt, I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of cardamom powder and cook this mixture properly till the mixture dries out. The mixture is nicely thickened and at this point, I'm going to turn off the flame and let it cool down completely. The semolina mixture is completely cooled down and now I'm going to start shaping the modaks. Take a small portion of this mixture and you can see it's further dried out. Into this, about 8 to 10 pieces of anjeer. Cover it up. If you don't have a modak mold, you can always roll it into a nice round ball. But since I have one, I'm going to give it a shape. Press it. Remove all the excess mixture. Even if the anjeer is exposed, it's absolutely fine. Just press it down. And that's it. In this way, finish shaping all your modaks. Ganpati being my favorite and modak being his, I hope he likes this version as much as I did. So do try this at home, comment below and subscribe to the channel. And to all you viewers, wish you a very happy Ganesh Chaturthi and Ganpati Bappa Moria!
The festival season is around the corner and I just realized I've not made my signature rice kheer for you. This is the Bombay chef Varun Inamdar and welcome to Rajshri Food. Let's begin with chawal ki kheer or rice kheer. The first method is to take some milk in a pan and let it heat on moderate flame. But while doing so, make sure you retain a little, like a few tablespoons, maybe just 3 or 4. I'll tell you soon why. Well, I'm taking some long grained rice and I've soaked these for half an hour, drained all the water, and here if you see, they've kind of dried up a little. And here what I'm doing is a quick trick to make sure the kheer becomes nice and thick. I'm just breaking these grains a little. So if you see, the long grain rice has now crumbled very easily into these little bits. Not all the rice, but just a little, like so. and the remaining goes in just as it is. Make sure you keep stirring the milk to avoid overspilling. The rice will take anywhere between 12 to 15 minutes to get cooked, so in gaps of 3 to 5 minutes, make sure to keep stirring. Let's check for the doneness of the rice. Just take a grain of rice and press it completely. If it mashes well, which means the rice is cooked. Once the rice gets cooked, you'll notice that relatively the milk has started thickening as well. This is the time when we add in the sugar along with the other flavorings. Now for the flavorings here, I use some seeds of cardamom along with strands of saffron. A quick stir. Once the sugar starts dissolving, I'll be adding in some golden raisins. Now here is a quick way to thicken the kheer. What I'm doing is, I'm taking little bit of vanilla custard powder, to which I'm adding the cold milk which we had reserved initially. Give this a nice mix. Make sure there are no lumps of corn flour. If you know, the custard mix is nothing but flavored corn flour. And in this case, it is vanilla flavored. I'm just going to increase the flame a little. Make sure it's nicely bubbling. And now I'm adding in the custard mix. With the custard mix going in, the kheer is going to get a nice pale yellow color and it's going to thicken because of the corn flour in the custard mix. The kheer has well thickened. Off goes the flame, and let's transfer this in a serving bowl. And finally, some strands of saffron again, a few seeds of cardamom, some almond flakes. So here is this easy, simple yet flavorful rice kheer which is ready just in a few minutes. And as you've noticed, simplicity really goes a long way. Do try this for your friends and family and let us know how you like it. This is the Bombay Chef. See you soon.
Festivals acquire a special touch when you make something with your own hands. Keeping that in mind, I'm going to be making a barfi made with dry fruits that tastes heavenly. You can make it for Holi, Diwali, or any other festival that commands the making or eating of sweets. So let's get started with it. I'm going to start off by pouring some water into this pan. I'm going to turn on the heat and allow this to come to a boil. The water has now come to a boil and now I'm going to turn off the heat. Into this hot water, I'm going to put in 300 grams, 1.5 cups of dried figs. The figs need to stay in the water for about 5 to 6 minutes, and while they rest, I'm going to prep my remaining ingredients. This is about 125 grams or half a cup of packed dates, and now I'm going to put this into my blender and grind these dates into a fine paste. Into this, I'm going to put in 1/3 cup, which is about 40 grams of pistachios, 1/3 cup, which is about 50 grams of cashews, and 1/3 cup, which is about 50 grams of almonds. And I'm going to chop them all up into fine pieces. All the dry fruits are chopped and ready, and now I'm going to move on to the figs. The figs need to cool down a bit, and then you need to grind them to a fine puree. Into this pan, I'm going to put in a tablespoon of ghee. Once the ghee melts, you need to put in the pureed figs into the pan. This needs to cook on low heat for about 4 to 5 minutes. You also need to ensure that all the water from the soaked figs evaporates and dries up. This needs to cool down a bit, and while it cools, I'm going to grab my 8-inch square tin. This tin has been lined with baking parchment, and I'm going to brush some melted ghee over the paper. The figs have now cooled down, and now you need to mix the rest of the ingredients together. The dates, the chopped pistachios, chopped almonds, and the chopped cashews. I also have some cardamom powder over here. Now this needs to be mixed together, and I like to do it with my hands. I'm just loving all the beautiful specks of color from all the different dry fruits. This is also a great snack to munch on, and because it is so healthy, you can also pack it up in your child's snack box. Now you need to pat this mixture into the pan. This needs to chill in the refrigerator for about 10 minutes, and then it will be ready to cut into squares or diamonds. This has been in my refrigerator for about 10 minutes, and now I'm going to cut them into pieces. And this is ready to be served. It happens to be a guilt-free indulgence with some pure flavors.